Truth is, I am Iron Man. How's it going, everyone? I'm Walt to the Film Hermit. Today, this is going to be my first MCU, well, second because I did Black Widow already, but the first film in the MCU franchise is going to be the original Iron Man on Steelbook. We're going to do an unboxing of the regular Blu-ray Steelbook, and we're going to do an unboxing of the 4K Steelbook. So this movie came out back in 2008, directed by Jon Favreau, stars Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow and Jeff Bridges. And back in 2008, there was no 4K, so that's why there's two Steelbooks instead of just one. And we're going to be going through each of the MCU movies and the Steelbooks that I have and how I ended up with more than one and so forth. So this film back in 2008, this was the first MCU movie to come out. When I heard that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be playing the role of Tony Stark, I knew that he was going to be fantastic in it. I did not know that he was going to be one of the best comic book performances of all time. I definitely have to put that on the list. I knew the character of Iron Man from the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon. The 1990s Spider-Man cartoon was kind of the MCU for the 90s because it had, of course it was about Spider-Man, but then it had X-Men with the guest star on the show, and it would use the same voices for the X-Men cartoon, and then the Iron Man cartoon, the same voice would be in that show. And that's how I kind of learned how all these characters were, because when I was a kid, I wasn't a big Marvel comic book, even though I did like some of the Spider-Man cartoon comics, because I used to watch the Spider-Man cartoon when I was a kid, and the live action show when I was a kid. But that's when I kind of, in the 90s, learned who all these characters were. And he even had a Stan Lee cameo on that show. It's actually, if you haven't watched it, you should check it out. It's actually on Disney Plus, because they were never put on home video, the original Spider-Man cartoon, but they're on Disney Plus. They did put a couple episodes, but not the entire series. But anyway, that was my introduction to like the MCU was back in the old Spider-Man days. And of course, when they did the live-action Spider-Man cartoons and the live-action X-Men films. So when I first really saw the movie, I loved it. It was a really good movie. One of the things I really love about this movie is Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Tony Stark. You get to learn who this character is, you get to see how he interacts with other people, and you get to see how his genius comes out when he's working with himself. A lot of the scenes, best scenes in the movie is Robert Downey Jr. just moving by himself and he's just trying to figure out how to build the suit and just kind of see how his mind works, and I just find that very, very entertaining. So we're going to do an unboxing of the Steelbook and go from there. So this is the Blue Fans Iron Man Steelbook. When I started to collect the MCU movies on Steelbook, I noticed there wasn't one in the US for Iron Man, and I found this on eBay. It's made by Blue Fans, and I thought the image art was just amazing. And one thing I really love about this Steelbook is I love how, of course, the image of Iron Man, and you have debossing on the title on the side. That's just really, really cool. And not just there, you have the embossing right here on his eye as well. So this is probably one of the best Steelbooks I own, just when it comes to in the looks department. Blue Fans are usually pretty expensive, but I remember not paying much for this because the movies weren't included. It was just the Steelbook. So I put my Blu-ray in here, my original Iron Man Blu-ray. I took it out of the blue case because I didn't have the slip cover anymore, and I just put it in here. So let's take a look at the spine. And let's take a look at the back. And they even put the embossing and debossing on the back eye as well. So the really cool thing that I love about this Steelbook is when you open it up and you go from front to back. That is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love that. I don't know how much these go for now, but it was definitely worth the price that I paid. So you get the full image of Iron Man, you get the title right there. So let's open it up, and take a look at the inside artwork. And then these are my original Blu-rays. Okay, get that out of there. And this is back in the old Paramount days, so these don't have any artwork on the Steelbooks. But let's take a look on the discs, I mean. So, nice image of Iron Man flying inside. Like I said, this is a good Steelbook. This is actually one of the better ones I own. I'm gonna go ahead and put these back in here. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the 4K Steelbook. So one of the things I like about the 4K Steelbook is that it used one of the original posters from the movie came out, and I think that's pretty cool. Something I mentioned with the Black Widow Steelbook is I don't like the fact that they didn't put the title on here. There's no embossing and debossing. I noticed a lot of the Marvel releases that had regular Blu-ray releases when the films were new and they had to redo in 4K, they did not do titles. But from Thor, The Dark World on, when they started making Best Buy Steelbooks, they all had titles, except for 1 or 2 of them. I think Doctor Strange doesn't have a title on the front, and I believe it's Captain America Civil War. So that's one of the original posters of the original Iron Man. It's got all the stars in it, Robert Downey Jr., and Gwyneth Paltrow and Jeff Bridges. And then let's go ahead and look at the back here. And we got the back here. And of course, Terrence Howard's on here as well. Terrence Howard was only in the first Iron Man because they didn't hire him for the second one. That's a story we'll go into when we go over the Iron Man 2 Steelbook. So that's the spine there. And then we got the arc reactor right on the back. So this digital copy's already been used, but I think I left it in here. I'll just remove it anyway. I should have tossed it out, but I never did. So, like I was saying earlier, when you get the Best Buy Steelbooks, you get art on both discs. So even though this movie didn't have art in the Blu-ray when it originally came out, they put art on the Blu-ray disc, which I think it's the same disc. I don't think they remastered it at all. So that's your Iron Man Blu-ray disc right there. And that is your Iron Man 4K disc. And I like this inside artwork. One thing I like about this inside artwork over the other Steelbook, it was a cool image of Iron Man, but I like the fact that it's a set photo and it actually has a picture of Robert Downey Jr. inside. That I really like and I dig. So I like the inside artwork on this one better than this one, but I do like the outside artwork on the other one better because of the embossing and debossing. Even though this poster's not bad, I like this poster. So there we go. We'll take a little look of the inside. And like I said, that's a really good image. So that's my unboxing of, well actually an unboxing reveal of the Iron Man Steelbooks. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and you have a great day.